here, man. I mean, just because somebody come from the suburbs don't mean that they don't come from the rough part or the sticks or whatnot of where they come from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, think about it like this. What if you living out here, man, in the suburbs, but you got to stay in apartment complexes and stuff? You know what I'm saying? And maybe a lot of people that live in your apartment complex are on Section 8, you know, they on public housing and things like that. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you still going through a lot of the same situations that people in the inner city go through that live in the projects and other places like that. So at the end of the day, think about it like this. Only difference is you living in a better looking structure than what some people in the inner city live in. So, you know, there is a little bit of that going on, that dynamic. But at the end of the day, man, you know, it's kind of rough, man, when you live in an area or a county that have people that's averaging, you know, average household income is $85,000 a year, but y'all only making 30 something. You know what I'm saying? You living out here, but you living around people that's way more well off than you are. So you're not able to have a lot of things either. So at the end of the day, man, there's a struggle involved in that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of ignorance. A lot of times people from the hood don't get a chance to go too far outside of their own community. So they really don't know that there's people out here that's real, that's living 20 minutes away in what's considered a nice area. You got hood parts of those areas and stuff too that people really don't know nothing about. Okay, so like I said, it's a hood everywhere. You go to other countries, they got way more struggle than what we got. You know, and that's another thing. I mean, when you really start talking about third world countries and stuff like this, European bloc nations and stuff like that, them people are tough, man. They come from tough environments, tough situations. You know, the stuff we complain about, they look at us like we're a bunch of pussies, man. I mean, real talk. So you gotta kind of think about what you say. I think you know, it's just more or less Americans got a chip on our shoulder because we from America. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know why Americans like to fight so much, you know. But I mean, we just like to fight. But like some of them people come up, like that's just the way of life, and that's what they have to do. You understand what I'm saying? And they really don't have a desire to be trying to run out here and start fights with people because they grew up having conflict. And conflict, man, wasn't really good. They growing up in dictatorship where you can't just speak out about what you don't like. You know, we can speak out about the government and say, well, I don't like the president and complain and protest. And that stuff to get your ass beat in another country, killed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really think about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if even if it's really so much a struggle, what we call a struggle, yeah, but it's just like an aggressiveness. I don't know. We just like to fight in this country, man. You really don't have to, and we still like it. You know what I'm saying? So, and even when we can't fight, we like to live vicariously through others who can fight. So, I mean, it's just crazy. But, keeping it moving, 4, interesting point. The suburbs try to be like the hood, and the hood try to be like the suburbs. I mean, it's all flip-flop. At the end of the day, a lot of these kids in the suburbs, man, they see what goes on in the ghettos and the urban core and stuff like that, and they emulate it. They try to fix their cars up the way we fix our cars up. You know what I'm saying? They listen to what we listen to. They dress the way we dress, wear their hair the way we wear our hair, things like that. You know, they get down like that. That's interesting. That's exciting to them. They want to experience that. You know, but at the end of the day, a lot of people in the hood, they want to have all the latest gadgets as soon as they come out. Ain't nobody trying to be broke and struggling no more. So that's what I get. You know, or that's another point I'm trying to make. You got a lot of people, just because you come from the projects, a lot of people nowadays are spoiled. You know, they cousins, they uncles, they big brothers, they mamas and daddies, and their grandparents used to be the shit back in the hood back in the day, and it's bullied a lot of people, and you know, their family name had a reputation. So these people is just like the grandkids or the next generation of these people coming up. They ain't have to struggle like they family did. They ain't never known nothing but Jordans. From the time they was a baby, everything they ever got was handed to them. They didn't have to go out here and hustle and do the stuff that they big brother and them had to do. They mom and them had to do. They daddy and them had to do. They grandpa and grandma and they cousins and they uncles and people like this had to do. They ain't had that struggle. You know what I'm saying? They just grew up in a low-income thing, but they had everything. They was always the best dressed, always had the most stuff. had the best birthday parties and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they people had a little bit of money, but they came from the bottom up, and these people just benefited from it. So you got somebody coming from the middle class that had to work hard for everything he did, beat the dog snot out of this spoiled motherfucker over here. So really, that ain't even a issue no more. But it seems like the hood tries to emulate the suburbs from the sense of we want to have all the expensive stuff that they have as soon as it comes out too. So in that sense, we still chasing what each other want to have, even though we at different ends of the spectrum. Even the people that's about the community in the neighborhood, in the hood, that's trying to stop the violence and trying to, do things so that people, their whole thing is to have a neighborhood that functions like your average suburban neighborhood. You understand what I'm trying to say? So in a sense, we still want the same things, when it all comes down to it. We all kind of want the same things. We just come from different locations. Which, I want to kick off my last 2 points. It's 2015. Things are different now, so we can't continue to still think the same. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is, man, like, a lot of this stuff, man, I grew up in the 70s, man, so we had a lot of racism and stuff we had to go through. And it's a lot of prejudice, beliefs and stuff that we had that we just growing up, that's just how it was. I mean, black people is different. I mean, and for the most part, black people were different from white people. But nowadays, man, it's not that much different between the different races of people. It's really about, man, your mentality. You know what I'm saying? And if you coming from certain environments and certain situations, then 9 times out of 10, you still going to be saying similar things. It's just that we still have that mentality that there's a wall of separation between the people. And them walls been knocked down at least 10, maybe even 15 years ago. But some people still ignorant and blind to that fact, so they still think these walls exist. What you doing over here in your little group ain't no more different than what the same stuff's happening over in the suburban community. Same things happening in the Italian community. Same things happening in the Asian community. Same things happening in the Hispanic community. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we ain't around to see it, so we kind of ignorant to what's really going on. So if we really get out more and interact with people that's different from us, we'll start understanding, man, it's really not that much different. Okay. My other point is this. The hood in the suburbs is just a location. There really are no more boundaries anymore. I mean, you got a lot of people that came from the hood that moved to the suburbs. Like they say, you can take them out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of them. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, there's still certain things that people fresh up out of certain situations, when they move to new situations, there's still core things that they keep about them. So just the only thing that really changes is where they live. You know what I'm saying? But they still have a different perspective and a different mindset on how things are. You understand what I'm trying to say? So eventually, if they start making friends and connections with the people in their environment and their new neighborhoods and stuff like that, they going to expose them to game. They going to expose them to things that they grew up with when they used to live in the hood and stuff. So them people actually benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? They benefit from these people's experience and knowledge. And just like going to suburbs, you're going to start people that's been living there all their lives, some of what they know is going to rub off on you. You know what I'm saying? It's really all about exchange of ideas and information and growing as people, man, and moving forward. So, the last thing I want to say is more of a question. It's a challenge. Can we evolve as people to where it don't matter where we from, but what we bring to the table? Who we are as it relates to the quality of our character is the ultimate factor. Basically, can we get to a point to where, oh man, you don't come from no struggle, so therefore you can't talk to me about whatever, man. Everybody can learn from everybody. Let's stop being so shallow and silly to think that we can't learn from one another and grow together as people. and that I have a unique viewpoint, talents, and skill set that if me and you link up, I'll be able to be a benefit to you and yours, and you'll be able to be a benefit to me and mine. You know, and if we can't, let's just agree to disagree and go on and do our thing. That don't mean that you can't go on and go to greatness. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. But let's stop looking at people and judging them based on a location, because all that really is a location. At the end of the day, you don't know what kind of people they come from. You don't know what they was taught. You don't know none of that. I know some people that come from money, you know what I'm saying? But when they teach their kids, they make their kids go back to square one. You know, put them out there and make them go out here and hustle just to see what they about. You know what I'm saying? Before they turn them loose and start giving them that money. They let them see what it's like, you know. Some of them do, some of them don't. You know what I'm saying? But you can't judge a person just by an area code or, you know what I'm saying, a zip code or a section or this or that. There's good and bad people. You know what I'm saying? Some of the best people I ever met in the world came from the hood. And some of the worst people I ever met in the world came from the hood. But guess what? They all grew up in the same neighborhood. So at the end of the day, man, you got to just, I know how to judge. I know a good person when I'm in the presence of a good person. And I know when I'm in the presence of a bad person. Regardless of whether they come from the projects or the suburbs. So that's pretty much all I want to say for this rant. Peace out. One love.